with Full-Time Devils.
Welcome to the Manchester Football Social. This is the Full-Time Devils takeover. It is Thursday, it is 6 o'clock, and we're here for an hour of your chat. And when I say your chat, it's very simple to get in touch. 0345 111 7625. Come and have your say on Full-Time Devils. We're only here for an hour, so get your calls in nice and early. I'm here today in the studio, joined by Charlie as a Red. Hello, Charlie.
Hello, how you doing?
Your first time in the studio, welcome, Charlie.
Yeah, it feels good to be here. Thank you for having me on.
You're very welcome, Charlie. And Jack over there, Jack, the big United fan, Jack.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to you, Jack. Oh, that's nice.
Is it still officially, we can say Merry Christmas?
Because we still officially say that, although Jack didn't, because Jack's a bit rude there, Jack. We want your say, don't we, boys, on Manchester United and our footballing chat. Like I say, get your calls in nice and early. What we're going to be talking about? Well, Huddersfield, obviously yesterday, things maybe back to normal at Old Trafford with a 3-1 win, or is it only just Cardiff and Huddersfield? Your opinion on that, please. The transfer window will be coming open soon. It's not long till 2019 arrives, and United could spend cash, but will they? And if they do, who do you think Ole will get in to Manchester United this summer? And we also want your opinion on Bournemouth, not far away, the 30th of December, the final game of 2019, Manchester United against Bournemouth. Your opinions on who might be playing up top for United. We're hearing room or could be fit for the Reds. So who do you think Ole might put in there? But gentlemen, before we get our first caller on, and we do have a call from Uncle Webby soon, maybe your thoughts, Charlie, on the game against Huddersfield, Boxing Day. Things just seemed back to normal, didn't they, Charlie?
Yeah, it felt back to normality for Manchester United. It's the type of performance that we were put in when we were winning titles, and we easily dispatched teams like Huddersfield, who were struggling in the Premier League. And I feel that if we were under Mourinho, it might have been a bit of a different game. We'd probably still have seen the Matic goal, but then I feel like we'd have just sat back and defended, not necessarily have keep taking the game to Huddersfield like we did.
For you, Jack, do you believe that United got things back on track then, Old Trafford?
I share the optimism, but it is early days.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I'm happy with is just playing that free-flowing, giving youth a chance, that attacking football. It's just everything that's intrinsic for United, and I think it's certainly a positive start. I won't get too carried away, but you know, who's to say that we can't at least climb the table a little bit, you know, and give us a bit more of a positive end to the season at least.
Come give us a call, 0345 111 7625. Be the first caller on today's show. For you, Charlie, a lot of people talking about the Manchester United players have changed. They look a bit better. For Ole, do you believe that there's one certain player that stood out for you? That is sort of the shackles have come off from being a player under Jose Mourinho and a player under Ole?
Well, as Nemanja Matic said in his interview yesterday, I feel like there's an answer you want me to give you here. But yeah,
what would that be, Charlie?
Paul Pogba, obviously. He looked very good in playing on the left-hand side of midfield yesterday against Huddersfield. He'd operate well with Luke Shaw and Jesse Lingard, a little bit of interaction there. Mm-hmm. And obviously the 2 goals, he was fantastic. The second goal, sublime.
Sublime.
Exactly.
Did you enjoy the second goal?
Yeah, it was great. I was sat in the Stretford end, like directly above it, and he hit it with so much pace, just directed into the corner. And yeah, it's a great goal from a great player, and hopefully we see more of it.
So there might be a lot of people listening now, and there might be a lot of people watching now on YouTube as well, that will look at us getting overexcited, sat in a studio full of United shirts going, we scored 8 goals the last 2 games. Yeah, it was only Cardiff and Huddersfield. But there has been times over the past couple of years where we've had to watch United go to these teams and just underperform time and time again. So to get 2 wins back to back, I know it's only against opposition, and anyone out there who doesn't support United watching or listening, you can laugh at us all you want. We got 6 points over the last 2 games. And Jack, for you, do you believe now that this could be a turning point for United? And do you think that it's changed the outcome where United might finish come the end of the season if we carry on this sort of form?
Oh, so, I mean, certainly. I don't think the way the dressing room was under Mourinho, we would have got the same. We may have got the same results. We may have scraped them, but we were never going to play that. We were never going to play that way. We were never going to score that amount of goals. I don't think. I think it's completely different. And one thing that shocked me was, the turnaround in terms of, what was it, 6 days or something Solskjaer had originally to work with the team, and it's almost like, wow, this is genuinely almost a copy of the United of old. I try and steer away from that sort of, United of old, because I think that's what we've done for the past 5-6 years. But it genuinely does look very, very positive.
In Birmingham, mate, you had a first caller on the Full-Time Devils takeover. The day after Boxing Day doesn't really have a name, so we've taken over the whole thing. It's the Full-Time Devils Day, Carl. What do you want to say, mate?
First of all, I want to start by saying Happy Christmas to all the Reds, the team, you guys at Full-Time Devils.
Merry Christmas, Carl.
Merry Christmas to you.
Good Christmas present yesterday?
It was. I think more one come early when Mourinho left, to be honest. I was all for Mourinho at the start, but it just went that downhill. It was so obvious that the change needed to be made. Mm-hmm. For example, going to the Huddersfield game, I think the spells of pressure Huddersfield had in that game, under Mourinho, we don't win. Maybe we get a point. Maybe we lose. So the morale's looking good. It's all came good. And hoping for a prosperous new year.
Prosperous new year, Carl. Thank you very much for your call. Kicking off tonight's Full-Time Devils phone in. John is in Bury. Hello, John.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Oh, it's John. Is it John Neild?
It is, Joe. Yeah.
Famous
Right,
Alex
okay.
Neild's dad. John, talk to us then about the last couple of games. I know your son met Ollie yesterday, was it? Tell us, talk to us about that, John, and tell people who might not know who Alex is.
Yeah, Alex Neild. He's got his own little YouTube
famous
channel. Yeah, famous Alex Neild. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, you good?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Send my best wishes to Alex.
He's listed. Yeah, I know he's listed, so I will do. Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
So tell us about yesterday.
He travels pretty much everywhere, Alex, doesn't he? In Europe and abroad, and I managed to get a pitch with Ollie yesterday, so he's buzzing off that. So went to the Cardiff game, the first game with Ollie at the helm. Absolutely great to see. Fantastic support, and performance, and even yesterday. He's just brought that good feeling back, and the supporters want to get to Old Trafford. Players look like they want to play for him, and it's just brilliant to watch. Long may it continue.
Did you see someone, John, that you believe has sort of become more of a player in themselves over the last two games since Ollie took charge?
Yeah, well, Pogba obviously, and he's really stepped up. I know what he had 3 assists at Cardiff, 2 goals yesterday. He seems to have really, really turned the corner. He looks happy again, and he's the player that everyone knows that he is. You know what I mean? That's why he paid all that money for him. He can turn the game. He's popped up with a couple of goals as well, and really good goals as well. Absolutely that second one especially. He was quite kind of arrogant in his celebration, but you can understand why. It's absolutely superb finish. Around the bottom corner, keeping no chance, and it's great to see him playing happy, and that's it. There's a great bunch of players there. I wanted to touch. I don't particularly think we need to sign anybody in the January transfer window. Let's kind of see the season out and take stock, and then maybe rebuild. But we have got some really, really good players. I think Jose, to be fair, has bought pretty wisely. I think most of his signings have all come good. I think Lindelof initially had a bit of a shaky start, but I think he's really showing his quality. And even Jones yesterday, really, really comfortable coming out the back. Everyone seems a lot happier now, and we're playing. And they always say, don't they, the great, the way to defend is score the goals, isn't it? That's the best form of attack.
John,
defend.
Thank you very much, John, for your call. Send your love to famous Alex. Make sure you go give Alex a like on Facebook, Twitter, and go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Thank you very much there to John for giving us a call. Make sure you give us a call, 0345 111 7625. If you're watching on YouTube, the number is along the bottom of your screen. If you're listening at home, give us a call like Uncle Webby. Hello, Sir Webby. How are we today, mate? Smile back on your face.
Yeah, just a bit rough. It's all like getting wet over the last few months. The flu's got me, but now I'm out of the water. I'll be fighting fit for Sunday, lads. Yeah. Yesterday you can't knock it. I said it all along. We need to play without fear. Enjoy yourself. Go and express yourself, which we couldn't do under the previous manager. And obviously yesterday wasn't the best, but hey, we won, and it's 6 out of 6 for the young man. And long may it continue, lads, you know. And obviously we go again on Sunday against Bournemouth, who are struggling. So hopefully get another 3 in the bag. And happy days, lads. I'm very happy.
How important is it, Webby, that Old Trafford, it's not just about the results, but Old Trafford becomes that place again where teams sort of fear to travel to, where teams don't just expect 3 points or don't just expect a draw, where they can put up a fight and, you know, anyone who comes there should be afraid?
You know, I was quite lucky in the 90s to work for the club and actually work in the tunnel area, and you've seen it yourself coming out as the players lined up, the fear in the opposition's faces, you know, looking at the players on the left-hand side of the tunnel, you know. If they get some games are virtually won before the referee tossed the coin, you know. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but let's make it a fortress, you know what I mean? Let's make Old Trafford a place to be fair to come to, you know what I mean? You look at the records over previous years under Fergie, you know, some games, we'd lost one game a season, if that, you know, and it was a fortress, and we've got to make that again. And obviously, with what Alex was saying, I think regarding transfers, you don't know what's going to happen, John. It's a silly month. We'll be linked with everyone. We'll link with the top ranked again for next season. You know, we do need improvement. You know, some of the players aren't good enough, you know, to play for the club. But that's my opinion. You know, I think it could be a quiet January. Like you're saying, if you got the big hitters, you know, you're not going to get them. They're going to be cup tied for Europe, you know, and FA Cup matches. Depends when you get them in early enough, you know. But I can't see a lot happening. But obviously, I'm really looking forward to Sunday's game and another good performance, you know, and another 3 points.
Webby, thank you very much for your call, mate, and thank you. Hopefully, see you in the studio soon, boss.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Webby. Webby always giving us a
Merry
call
Christmas,
there.
Webby.
Merry Christmas to Webby there, and we hopefully get him into the studio very soon. Siam, who's all the way in India, is that right, mate?
Yes, that's correct.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
We want to talk about transfers. Merry Christmas to you, mate. Do you have
a good New Year.
anything you want to say? And a good New Year. What do you want to say in the Full-Time Devils takeover today, mate?
I just wanted to let you guys know that I have been following United for a very long time, and these past few years has been utterly disgraceful. There were a few ups and downs with Mourinho, but things are looking better now. But one thing which I wanted to put out was about the transfer window which is coming up.
Yeah,
I know that Solskjaer is not the permanent manager, so how are we going to approach? Because there is only four days left, and from first we'll be starting it. Do you think they have already selected few players in mind, like for a defense or a winger? Because Solskjaer wants to play with wide wings, and we definitely need a defender.
Definitely need a defender. Siam, I think we need a defender. Charlie, do you believe, obviously we'll talk more about transfers coming up, but do you believe that Ole has already got some people in mind, or do you personally think that United need anyone?
I mean, currently I don't necessarily think that we need to bring anyone in, but when you see that Toby Alderweireld is available for £25 million, one of the best centre-backs in the entirety of Europe, and any team would love to have him, I think that you have to chase that deal regardless of whether you know that Solskjaer's going to be with us for the foreseeable future, or just to bring him in for the next manager.
We've got another call on before we have to take a break. For you, Jack, what do you think about transfers before we get on to the big subject in the next half? Do you believe that Ole will be giving the money?
It's hard to say. I mean, they've got a bit of a cop-out, haven't they? Because they can turn around and say, well, we want to wait for the permanent manager to come in, whether it be yourself or someone else. I'm totally in agreement with Alderweireld. I think even though he is sort of over the traditional 28, 29-year-old that United would normally sign, I think that's kind of what we're lacking, particularly at centre-back. I think we can afford to go out and purchase an experienced older centre-back, and I think he is one of my favourite, one of the best in Europe, undoubtedly. So yeah, I think if we can get anyone, Alderweireld, most likely, let's do it if we can.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you pass up on Alderweireld, then you have to go for someone like Koulibaly, who's being touted about for £90 million. And I think in terms of just saving that amount of money and then being able to use it somewhere else, it's worth the gamble on Alderweireld, who's proven at the Premier League level.
We're going to talk more about transfers, so if you want to get your calls in now, we'll make sure we get them on in about 5 minutes. So, sorry, who you want on your list of players coming to Old Trafford? Do you believe Ole will even get any money in the summer, in the January transfer window to spend on players he wants to bring in? We're going to go to Spencer now in Seattle. Before the break, Spencer, we've been talking about Manchester United and the positive 2 games we've seen under Ole, but you want to send a bit of a message out to some United fans?
Oh, yeah, man. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year. I mean, and a happy holiday to everybody.
Happy holidays, mate.
And, I'm very happy with the new manager. You know, like I told my colleague here earlier, I don't want to get over my head too early, but I think he's doing a great job. The start is perfect. You know, these guys are playing football now. I mean, like, you know, they are playing soccer. I mean, this is what Manchester United have been locked up a long time. It's like the player was scared or something. I don't know where Jose did, but now it's like they all loose right now. Like, they got their freedom. So they out there playing football. So that's good, man. And I'm very happy. And I hope things should get better. And top 4. Oh, I got my finger crossed on that for sure. Top 4, and if possible, top 3. I mean, I can see it happening, and if he make that happen, give him the job, man.
Is that what you need to get Ole the job? Top 3. Do you believe if he gets top 4, he'll be given the job?
Oh yes, definitely. And one thing I want to throw it out there, and I want you guys to think about this, Manchester United fan. I hope everybody listen to this. Sell Lukaku and bring in Zaha from Crystal Palace. That will be a major change, I'm telling you.
So sell Lukaku. How much would you sell Lukaku for?
That's a good question, though, man. I wish I was on the board to put my foot down, but unfortunately, I cannot because, I mean, they know how to do their numbers, you know. But, I mean, I don't want to disrespect the guy. I mean, there was time he was there for Manchester United. I don't know what went wrong, why he's slacking. I don't know. But I think if you sell him to bring in Zaha is hungry right now. That kid is hungry. He would do whatever it takes so he can be the next, you know, Mbappe or like the next and Mane or Salah. And I can see it in him. So Manchester United need to start looking at Zaha from Crystal Palace. I'm telling you, you know. So that's it, man. Thanks you guys for taking my call.
No, thank you very much, Spencer. Thank you very much for your chat there, all the way from Seattle.
All the best, Spencer.
So much to talk about as we take a little break. I've got so much to throw at you, listeners and watchers, but we do need to get your calls in for the next section of the show. 0345 111 7625. Spencer there saying sell Lukaku and bring in Zaha. Jack?
Surely you've got to give him a bit of a chance under Solskjaer. I mean, look at his record for Belgium. You know, he has been a very, very frustrating player, but I feel like he's been as unhappy as Pogba, possibly more unhappy. There's this whole thing about now we're changing to this sort of high pressing. Can Lukaku do it? I think it's all about his mentality is spot on as an athlete and as a pro. I think he will fit into that system, and I think he would genuinely. I think he can progress. I think he can move on now, and I would give him certainly at least the 6 months until summer under Solskjaer. You know, we're just going to sell him now.
Sell Lukaku, getting Zaha, Charlie.
Personally, I'd keep with Lukaku for a bit. I want to see him in the Solskjaer system because yesterday I feel that like we worked really well on the wings. However, we never crossed the ball, and it seemed like we were just a bit scared, and we never felt that Rashford or Lingard, whoever was in there, was going to get on the end of it. And for me, Lukaku gobbles chances like that off crosses. He's going to score a bounty full of goals, I think. So keep Lukaku, give him another 6 months. I think even if he struggles a tad bit over the next 6 months, we still keep him. But yeah, for me, you've got to give Lukaku a chance. Zaha, I don't know. I feel like he's a great player for a team outside the top 6, and then just becomes a rotational player as soon as he gets to one of them top 6 sides.
It is indeed. Right, thank you very much for listening to Full Time Devils and watching as well online. There's a bit of an argument going on in the chat about how much Lukaku will be worth. If you want to have your say on that, 0345 111 7625. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking about Manchester United's transfer window coming up in January. Do they spend? Who do they bring in? what is your opinion on what's going to happen over the next month? Very simple to get in touch. 0345 111 7625. People having their say on the chat. Why don't you have your say actually on the video and come and have your chat with the boys here in the studio, Jack and Charlie. Before we go, question for you to keep you occupied during the little break that we're going to have. This is it. Quite difficult today. Who has recently overtaken Valencia as the player with the most Manchester United appearances in the current squad? If you know, don't answer yet. Get in the chat, text 87711, and we'll see you after this.
Excess. United Football Social with Full-Time Devils.
Welcome back to the Full-Time Devils takeover at the Manchester Football Social. Hope you are doing well there. The question I asked you before the break is who has recently overtaken Valencia as the player with the most MUFC appearances in the current squad? Can we get an answer from you, Charlie?
I was thinking about this, but I'm not sure. I don't even want to give an answer.
Go on.
Phil Jones.
Phil Jones. And what do you think, Jack?
No chance, Phil Jones.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
Is it De Gea?
Yes.
De Gea, have you got De Gea? Right, give yourself a tick there. This is the Manchester Football Social. It's the Full-Time Devils takeover, and it's very simple how you do get involved in the show. 0345 111 7625. We've got Ahmed on the phone. We'll get to him very shortly. We're going to be talking about transfers in this section. Who would you have in? Do you believe Ole's going to get any money? Do you think that there is certain players that will make United better at this moment in time? Your opinions are very much valid. 0345 111 7625. Come and have your say. Let's just talk then quickly about transfers. For you, Charlie, we mentioned Ole getting any money. You mentioned who you'd like, but is there anyone you think is out there that you think would fit in this current Manchester United squad?
I feel like the only player you bring in this January, if you can prize him away from Spurs right now, is definitely Toby Alderweireld.
And now, so we mentioned him, and so you let us know what was the thing that has been announced today about his transfer clause.
Oh, so he's Spurs have triggered his new his contracts clause so that he has an extra year on his contract. Cool. But that also triggers the fact that he now has a £25 million release clause, and that release clause is activated until the end of the 2019 summer transfer window, I believe, until about 14 days before that. So basically anyone can talk to him directly if they pay Spurs £25 million, unless it's in the last 2 weeks of the 2019 transfer window.
Love to have your opinion on that. Would he be a good member of the Manchester United squad? We're going to go to Ahmed, who's on line one. Hello, Ahmed.
Hi, good evening. Merry Christmas to you guys, and I hope you have a good New Year.
Merry Christmas to you, mate. Let's talk about Manchester United then. 0345 111 7625. Come and have your say on the Manchester Football Social. What do you believe then that has happened since Jose Mourinho's left the club? Do you think there's been progress?
I think there has been definite progress in terms of because from what I've been experienced to in terms of the United way of playing. I've been a fan since about 2003, so when I was about 8 years old, and now it's like almost 15 years later. So I've seen kind of the ups and the downs, and from the way we've always played, it's always been the attacking philosophy, you know, kind of regardless of what the outcome of the game is, we never stop giving our best. And in the recent few years, I've seen that mentality has kind of been washed out, if anything. And the last two games, there's people saying that we've only played Cardiff City, it's just Huddersfield. But I believe that mentality is coming back, that hunger to just go for it, regardless of outcome.
Charlie, do you believe the hunger is back in Manchester United? Do you see it in the players? Stay there for us, Ahmed. Do you see it in the players?
Yeah, personally I do. I feel that people, the players seem more energised. They actually want to play football now. I feel like the more fast-paced attacking football also captivates the players more. You've also got to think, if you are just sitting back in a low block and waiting for them to attack you, it must be pretty boring just getting attacked all game. And I think that's what we saw in the Liverpool game. And since he took over, the mood around the club's changed, and the players seem more energised.
For you, I want to bring up this tweet, Ahmed and Charlie and Jack in the studio here, and for you guys watching and listening at home. This is from Manxell, because we're talking about the Hungarian players. This is from Manxell, a tweet that we got in. He says, I love that Manchester United are playing the United way, but I now feel conned. This season by players, I feel conned this season by players who have spat out their dummies and underperforming just to get a new manager. We wouldn't be outside the top 4 if they had some professionalism, put the fans and the club first. How do you people see it? Ahmed, do you think that some of the players have spat the dummies out whilst Jose Mourinho was in charge?
No, I don't think so. I think in regard to this, I think I go by what Mourinho actually said, I think about a week or two ago, about us doubting the professionalism, the actual belief of the players in themselves, in the club, their commitment. It's us doubting that. And honestly, I don't actually believe it's the players not wanting to perform. Rather, it's a case of them being in a situation where they're told that you can't perform in a certain way. After all, they have to follow what the manager says on the pitch. So, from what I believe, that in terms of what we've seen from Jose Mourinho's style of play over the years, I believe that he had a massive influence on the way the players reacted to going a goal down or perhaps going a goal up. Because I saw in the actual press conference yesterday after the match, Solskjaer actually turned around and he goes, when we were 2-3-0 up, if we could have brought on Sanchez and Lukaku, we could have finished the game off. Yeah. After 3-0, he's saying he still wants to finish the game off. So that kind of mentality, I think the players lacked in the past few years, especially under Mourinho. And in terms of tactical analysis, I've seen so many YouTube videos where they analyse the way our team shaped up, even in normal matches where we're playing against Newcastle, relegation teams. So I think the players' minds had been kind of triggered in a certain way to kind of hold back, even when we could go forward. There are times when Martial runs forward, he's facing a player one-on-one, and he chooses to turn around. I'm like, that is not in Martial's mentality to actually do that. He's an attacking player. He wants to go forward unless there's some repercussion for going forward. Players don't take shots from outside the box. I can't remember the last time, what's his name, took a proper shot from outside, a long shot.
Lingard, Matic, all taking shots.
Exactly. So I think it was down to the manager. I don't think we should doubt the players. And in terms of where we're heading towards now, I think we had like 7 shots from outside the box yesterday. So it's good.
It's a different Manchester United, isn't it, Ahmed? Thank you very much for your call. Top man Ahmed, and some very valid points there, getting his thoughts across. I'll let you have your say in a minute about, do you think Jose Mourinho made the players spit their dummy out before he left? Keenan, in Edinburgh, how you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for taking time to call Full Time Devils. And anyone who is calling, we got a bit of a backlog. We'll try and get you as much as we can. Let's try and keep them calls going. Keenan, talk to us then about Manchester United and what have you seen in the last couple of games?
Yeah, well, it's not really the last couple of games, to be honest. I'll be quick. I want Man United back, the real men. We need real men back. It's not just in the style of play, but it's the attitude. I look at players like Henning Berg, Dennis Irwin, Keane, Steve Bruce. These men could have been tradesmen or painter and decorators, and you wouldn't know any better. Today we've got these people in the team. They think they're rock stars and pop stars. I'm all for the Roy Keane attitude. Let's get real men back in the team.
And do you believe that there is any players in the current squad that are real men?
Well, I looked at Ibrahimovic. I thought he was a real man. He had a bit of charisma about him. He was a real man. But there's not too many. We need a complete overhaul. Mm-hmm. We need players in the team that are going to play for the badge.
Who would be the first couple of people you'd get rid of that, Keenan?
Oh, well, it would definitely be Jesse Lingard. Let's get rid of him. Okay, he's a good squad player and all that kind of stuff. We need we need real men in the team.
The first one out would be Jesse Lingard.
100% Jesse Lingard.
Who's the second one out?
Paul Pogba. Get rid of him.
Sorry. No.
Who's the third one out?
No.
The third one? Well, that's getting difficult now. They're all sort of blended in amongst each other.
You see, Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard gone straight away if you're the manager of Manchester United.
Oh, 100%, guys. And Lukaku, I tell you what, the problem with Lukaku is he thinks he's a real man, but he's not a real man.
So you get rid of Lukaku
up front now than Lukaku.
Well, okay. Right, Keenan, you know what? This is all about fans having their say. You've come on and you made your point. Fair play, Keenan. Thank you very much for calling. It's up to people. If you disagree with Keenan, no point just typing it on YouTube. Come give us a call. 0345 111 7625. Keenan, thank you for your call there.
Sorry to Keenan for laughing then. I was more laughing at Jack's reaction. He was not happy at all.
It's a fan phone in. Fans want to have their say. Keenan came and had his say, and he did it very well. We're going to go now to Nat is on the line. Hello, Nat.
Hi, you okay?
Nat, thank you very much for calling. Full-time Devils regular as well. We wanted to get you on because we wanted to talk to you, obviously, about the last couple of games. We also want to talk to you about Manchester United's women's team as well, and how coming up to the end of 2018, how the year has been for the new Manchester United women's side. Let's start with the football we saw on Boxing Day yesterday. How was it, Nat? And are you feeling back to normal?
So I thought, if they got demoted, it wouldn't have been right. So, it's back to playing good football. Obviously, it's a shame that the players have only just turned up now. If we'd been playing like this maybe from the start, it would have been different and we would have been closer.
So I read a little tweet out before Nat saying some of the players might have spat the dummies out whilst Mourinho's in charge. Do you think that's the case, or do you think it was bad management?
100% they spat the dummies out. I mean, people like Pogba who's just turning up now and he's acting like, oh yeah, I love United. It's all a bit of rubbish. I think potentially, he had, he was a bit lost, I think, Jose, and I think they say about that third season with Jose. It's a shame that he had to come to it the way he did. We wanted him to do well. Since Fergie's left, he's been our most successful manager. No one can take that away from him unless, we go and win the Champions League or something. So you've got to respect what the man's done. But now it's going back to our roots the way it should have been from the start.
Nat, tell us then about the Manchester United women's team. 2018 isn't going to be here for longer. How was 2018 for Manchester United's women's side, and what does 2019 look like?
Well, top of the league, into the quarterfinals of the cup. They beat Everton to get to the quarterfinals. They beat Liverpool also, so that's obviously a good point for us. They're just, the girls are playing the Man United way. They are passionate. They are playing for that badge. There's people like Jess Sigsworth, our number 9, who's banging in top goal scorer at the minute. These girls, a lot of them were playing for United and had to leave and then have come back. So for them, it really means a lot playing and having people come down. And we just want 2019 more people to come down, more people to be watching, and to keep up the good support for them.
Have you got the next game where people could come down to it? Is that in the new year, before the end of the year?
Yeah. 6th of January, Leigh Sports Village, 2 p.m. at Leigh Sports Village versus London Bees. So that's our next league game. And the 9th of January is at 7 p.m. is the quarter-final versus West Ham. And they're in the league above, so that'll be a big game for everyone to get down.
Big game, that.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll win that?
West Ham are a good side, but I think we drew against them in pre-season, so I think we can beat them. We've already beaten 2 Women's Super League teams, so, the girls are really coming on now. And, manager Katie Stoney, she's an England legend, and she's really, she's got the tactics down to a T. She's doing well for the girls, so I'm really proud of all of them girls, definitely.
Nat, thank you very much. We'll get you on throughout the season as well to give us updates, so that's okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely. Nat, thank you very much. Right, the calls just keep coming today. We also thought it might be a bit of a quiet one. I don't know. Boxing Day, some people might be full up on Christmas dinner, but the calls will keep coming. Matt, you're on Full-Time Devils Takeover, mate. What do you want to say?
How you doing, guys? Right?
I'm very well, mate. Do you want to get rid of Pogba and Lingard like the other guy?
To be honest, I mean, since Mourinho's gone, I think Pogba's now, looks more, the player he was.
Our best player.
Than what he, clearly there was something wrong when Mourinho was there, and obviously now, as Solskjaer's taken over till the end of the season. I know it's teams like Huddersfield and Cardiff, scoring 5 against Cardiff. You look at them results. I mean, last time we scored 5 goals, I think, was obviously with Kim Black last season. We played.
Yeah, Lukaku scored a hat-trick.
I think that's like in Ferguson's last game, I believe.
West Brom, Lukaku hat-trick. For West Brom.
Didn't he come off the bench to do that as well? I think he did.
He may well have done.
Well, I'll double check that, don't I? Make any guesses now, Matt. For you, we were talking a bit before. Oh, sorry, carry on, Matt. I don't want to interrupt you.
I mean, but obviously I'm looking at now games like against Huddersfield yesterday. Potentially, I think that's now 5 or 8 points behind top 4, is it? Because I know Chelsea won yesterday. I think Chelsea won 2-1, was it?
Arsenal drew.
Obviously, Arsenal drew, yeah. So,
do you confident that maybe top 4 could be a possibility still?
I mean, I'm still confident. As long as we can now get delivered the right results, and obviously, I'm pretty sure now we can get a good result. Well, try and put up a good fight against PSG in the Champions League next month.
Matt, thank you very much for your call. Sorry there, Matt. It's just a little point there because we just have to get one more caller in before we go to a break. Abdul, how you doing, mate? You've got a bit of concerns, Abdul.
Yeah. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, very Merry Christmas to you, mate. Hope everything's been good.
Yeah, thank you, guys. So basically, obviously, I'm really happy with the performances and what we've seen so far from the players. But my concern is about, just in general about the people that are running the club, and also it just leaves you to think why was this decision made earlier, in the season, or why was it not made at the end of last season? Because clearly there was something wrong. The relationship was broken, and it just leaves you to think okay, now we're only 5 points behind the 4th or 5th team in the league, and if the go and get stuff around the February, March, the players are not going to give 100% for this manager because they think he's only going to be here for 5-6 months. So what's the point about trying to play for the manager? So I feel like I don't want people to get too excited about us finishing in the top 4 because I don't think it's going to happen. I think what we've seen so far, is just a reaction to Mourinho being sacked. That's all. I don't think that we're in any way good enough to finish.
So if you're a betting man, mate, you saying that no, you don't believe that United will get in the top 4?
No, 100% no. Because the thing is, okay, we're going to win the next couple of games. Even if we win, we're going to lose against Tottenham because at the end of the day, the players, they have to believe 100% in the manager. And I don't think that these players, that they believe in him 100%. There are concerns that I have about, players like Pogba and even the players that were loyal to Mourinho, like Matic and Lukaku. Even though they might seem happy now, I'm sorry to to not be as excited as everyone else is, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Thank you very much for your call, Abdul. Make sure you give us a call. We got one final section of the show. It's gone pretty quick, hasn't it, boys? Jack and Charlie with me as we float through these callers. I've got another question for you.
Go ahead.
6 players in our current squad are in the top 100. Are in the top 100 for United's appearances. So, let me say that again. 6 players in our current squad are in the top 100 for MUFC appearances. Can you name them? I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that.
I wonder if Phil Jones is in there.
Can't say anything. This is the Full-Time Devils phone in. You've only got about 10 minutes to get your phone... Well, 20 minutes to get your phone calls in because as soon as 7 comes, we have to close the line. So if you got anything to say, 0345 111 762.
Or what's happened in his personal life, and if he isn't compassionate leave, then he should have all the time to recover and have time to himself. But I think the interesting one for me is Sanchez. I mean, maybe not for the Bournemouth game, maybe bring him on 60-70 minutes, but I genuinely think this system could see him just have a complete change in fortune. I think he probably was the most excited to hear of the news of Jose's departure. I think he now will we'll kick on, hopefully. He's 30, which is he 30, 31?
I believe he's... I think he's still 29, but I'm not entirely sure.
Probably really, his real age is probably about 35, but we'll say 30.
He's 30.
Right, whilst you check that, we're going to go to Kaz, who's on the line. We've got you back, mate. Make your point finally on the Full-Time Devils takeover. Thank you very much for obviously getting you back on air. What do you want to say, mate?
I said, when the question you asked me about, don't go too ahead of yourselves. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah. So you don't think that United should be too, obviously... United fans shouldn't be too optimistic at the minute.
No.
Why? When would you become optimistic then?
Probably after the Spurs game, if we beat them, possibly.
So
it's probably the top teams.
Okay, and Ole as a manager, do you rate him, or like my question before, what would it take for you to rate Ole?
If he wins the FA Cup, or I guess probably Champions League.
Champions League.
Yeah.
And then would you give him the job if he wins the Champions League?
No.
Wins it? That's going to be a hard job.
If he wins the Champions League, you still might not give him the job.
Yeah, obviously I'll give him the job after that. Of course I will.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kaz, for your points there. Here, thank you for giving us a second call as well. With 1:30 to go, I want to thank everyone who has been watching live on YouTube. I want to thank everyone who has downloaded the podcast and everyone who's listening to XS Manchester. Let's talk then about some predictions, guys. Bournemouth, United, Charlie. I'm sure you're doing a Fancam after the game. But before the game, let's talk about it. What do you think the score's going to be?
I'm going for another great Manchester United performance. I hope we get a clean sheet because that is something we desperately need.
Yeah.
I'm going for a 3-0 victory against Bournemouth at Old Trafford. They looked depleted in that Tottenham game. They got smacked about 5-0, so I'm sure their morale's not going to be high. And hopefully it's another team that we can roll over.
Jack.
Well,
3-0, you optimistic like Charlie?
Spurs beat them 5-0, so I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0 because we're just maybe not as good. Charlie is a Red, thank you very much for joining us.
Can I just say,
of course you can.
A lot of people today have phoned in and told us not to get too ahead of ourselves. Listen, we've been to hell